Aytekin is the CEO and founder of Jotform. He's grown this business from nothing to over 500 employees over the past couple of decades. He's got offices all over the world. And I'm super excited to talk to him because he didn't start as like a entrepreneurship major or like a business MBA or something like that. He came from a developer background. A lot of people in this community, the data entrepreneurs, are technical folks who I feel have a very similar journey as yours. Like they're working full time at a company. And what I love about what you're saying about Jotform and the genesis of it is that it started as you had to make all these forms for your employer and you're this web developer and you didn't really want to do this work. It was kind of like boring. It wasn't super interesting. And of course, this was like early 2000s. There was no Google Forms. There were no like off the shelf products for this kind of stuff. So you had to like manually write the HTML code yourself. But you basically like wrote the first version of this product as a way to like automate your job and make your life easier. I feel like a lot of people might be doing that today as well as we see like more and more AI tools rolling out. So I'm just curious, if you were starting over today, like let's say you were a web developer or some kind of developer at a company and you wanted to break into entrepreneurship, how do you see like AI changing the starting point for you? What would you do differently, if anything?
Yeah, I mean, when I was starting out, there was this transition going on. The software was actually moving from something that you installed on your computer to something you use on your browser.
Yeah.
Gmail came out in 2004, and I was really inspired by that because I quit my job in 2005. I was so
Okay.
inspired by that, right? And I was excited about building a product that can actually work on the browser, and that was the new thing. So today is very similar. Today there is this big transition, big revolution going on. The AI. AI is huge for software. So now the software kind of changed during that time. The software was something you installed on your computer. You downloaded it, you installed it, you tried to install it maybe like when you needed to update it, it was so difficult, right? There was like so many problems with it. There weren't this many like software developers because it was really hard to also develop products. With the browser, it became so much easier to build products. It also became easier to update them, like just people to use the product easily, just sign up easily and start using the product right away. You don't need to like install anything like that. And then with the browser, like you also had this cross platforms, like you could just be anywhere. You could be Windows, Mac, or whatever. Like you didn't have to develop different products for different platforms. So there were like so many different reasons that transition made it much more easier for developers to create good products. It also came with this new business models, the SaaS. SaaS wasn't like when I quit my job in 2005, started writing the first code for Jotform 2 decades ago. The SaaS term wasn't invented, but I was actually building a SaaS product. So it came a little bit later. So today, they're like it's very similar. The software is becoming much more flexible with the help of AI because the software can now speak to people. It actually understands natural language. It understands what you say, and then it can actually answer back to you in your own language. So this actually makes software so much more effective, efficient, easier to use because like I've been building products for like over 2 decades. And one of the things like I learned is like the most important thing is the user experience because like anytime you make the product a little bit difficult, if anytime you have a new like little bit obstacle, you just lose like 50% of the users, right?
Right.
Very small, tiny bit of like obstacle, you lose like 50%. Another obstacle, you lose another 50%, right? We spend so much time improving the user experience for Jotform. But the thing is, like, no matter how much we improve it, some people, it's just still so difficult. They just don't understand it. That threshold is like getting smaller as we improve the user experience, but we can never reach a point where it's just so easy. But English or like, language is like everybody can speak. Everybody can say, okay, I need this
Yep.
and I want this. And then everybody can actually understand if the software actually speaks to them and tells them, okay, here's the result. Or like just so
Got
what's
it.
happening is that now with the help of LLMs, now we have this big power where the AI can actually help software talk to people, right? And now software, like the user interface is not this like all these like buttons and clicks and like windows. user interface is like speaking, or like, even if you're typing, it's still
Right.
speaking. So it's the natural language, and it's much more flexible because now you can actually, even if the user is telling you something very confusing, the LLM can actually understand it, and for each individual user it can actually understand it. It can actually turn that into the language of software, and then your software can actually understand what has been said and then do whatever the user needs and then provide the output. You also can have that conversation. It's not just one time. Like the user can actually say something. You can ask further question like, "Did you mean this?" And then
Mhm.
the user can provide additional information, and then you can actually communicate and maybe provide help, like give them direction, like the correct direction if they are wrong. So software is became this flexible, powerful thing, and this is a big revolution. And most people actually think about it wrong when they
Mm.
say, "Oh, software cannot, like you cannot write software with AI." I think that's a terrible idea. Like just because it's just like you can probably create this code that's like but the great software is actually requires like so much effort. Like it also requires your knowledge, right? The
Right.
developer, the business that's actually developing the product, it actually has this knowledge about the users, about the business, about the whatever solution problem they are solving. It has so much information. When you provide the software to someone, you're not just providing them like just exactly what they need. You're actually giving them a solution with all the different like know-how. Like I didn't know so much about like forms or workflows, like, but during this 20 years, I just by helping people, I learned so much. I learned
Mm.
like it was like a puzzle. Like I was just every time someone was asking for a new piece, like we were building that into our product, and then the puzzle over time it actually became much more clear. Nobody actually came to us and tell us, okay, this is exactly what you
Right.
need.
Right. Right.
Even if they tell you that, they probably don't know what they need. So what you need, you still need these products, you still need good products, but you now have an easier way to communicate with people who use those products. So it's the new user experience.
Yeah. I love this parallel you were talking about between like this SaaS revolution and now we're seeing like a similar transition with AI, and how when you were getting started out, you saw this thing like, oh, I don't need to write three different applications for three different platforms. Like I can just build it for the browser. And that was like one of the things that kind of nudged you into like pursuing this journey. And it seems like if you were starting over today, you would do a similar journey, but now thinking of how you can improve SaaS systems by using LLMs as this user interface, or adding some flexibility to the user interface and improving that user experience. Because, like you were saying, every opportunity you have like some friction in your product is an opportunity for someone to drop off or not use it or not be a customer anymore. So just like how SaaS kind of removes some friction from downloading software directly on your computer, now AI is removing the same kind of friction on the user experience. I hear a lot of people talk about AI agents, and I know, YC, you mentioned Paul Graham earlier, are making a lot of big bets on these like vertical AI agents. So I'm just curious, and I know Jotform, you guys are rolling out this AI agent product as well. So before we kind of talk about AI agents and the opportunities there, I'm just curious how you define AI agents right now, or how you guys are thinking about it at
Yeah,
Jotform.
I would say an AI agent is an AI that has agency, that can actually do things on its own, like that can
Yeah.
actually. So with the like when you use ChatGPT, when you use a chatbot, you're basically like just asking questions, getting answers. It can do many things, but it's like there's just like one-to-one communication. But with the agents, it can be like an employee that works for you.
Mm.
And I've been thinking about the agents for a while now because we are building this AI agents product at Jotform. And I've been doing like so much research and like just looking at all these different products. When I looked at all these products, like I classified them in like three categories. The first one is AI agent platforms, Relevance AI or Crew. In these platforms where you have all these like different agents that actually have like their own specialty, and you can just get them to work together to build a solution for you, right? So this is the first one, like this AI agent platform. The second one is the workflow AI agents. So workflow AI agents are more like, okay, you built this AI agent for you that can actually work 24/7, right, for you, but it's basically doing something, automating something for you. It can actually, work while you are sleeping, it can actually do the job. If you have like 10 steps, it can actually do all the 10 steps. I mean, it can include human in the loop. It can ask you for reviews. So basically, in the first example, you had like one person and like many agents. In the second one, you have one person and one agent, but the one agent can actually do everything, right?
Mm.
And the third type of AI agents that I found was like, and this is actually much more common, is this what I call social AI agents,
Mm.
and it can actually go out to the world and talk to other people on your behalf. Like it
Mm.
can take appointments, it can do customer service, it can do sales, and this is actually I see more products on this area, and
Oh,
we are actually
interesting.
building a product on this area as well. So the most famous example is the Agent Force by Salesforce. Basically, it can do customer support, it can do sales. So they're building these agents mostly for like large companies to do their services for them. Those are the three types of AI agents. When I see an AI agent, like it's one of those categories usually. Basically, what's happening is that SaaS is becoming AI agents. Like in the past, when you need to do a task, like if you needed forms, you would go to Jotform and say, okay, I need forms. Like you had to use this product, like just create your form, all that stuff. It's easier than to build in the forms yourself, but still, like, you still need to learn that product and everything. In these days, I think it's still software. I think it's still going to be SaaS, right? But the products you use are going to be much more flexible, and you're
Yeah.
going to be able to like, okay, this is what I need. Product we are building just from AI agents is kind of similar. Our first idea was like, can we actually make it easier for people to fill out forms, right? So instead of like filling out these boring forms by manually just entering everything, what if you could have a conversation with someone and that person could actually ask you a question, right? So what if you could actually fill out forms on the phone, right?
Yeah.
What if you could actually fill out forms on WhatsApp, right? What if you could actually ask questions as opposed to just filling out the forms? So that's how we started. We actually built that. So we have been working on this product for 1.5 years. We actually built that. It was actually the most difficult part, and we started like this, giving it to our users to beta testing. And what we discovered was like most of the people weren't actually using for that. They were actually using it for customer service, right? They were
Oh,
just
okay.
like most of them were just putting these our AI agents into their web page as like a chatbot, AI chatbot, or just like buying, like you could just buy a phone number from us and just give this phone number on your website, and people call it and like ask questions about your business or services. Like just like there's still like forms, like like almost probably like 10% of our active users. Like we are still in beta. We are going to release it in 20 days. We are getting so close, but most people actually use it for customer service. So when we actually started doing like customer interviews, when we started actually looking at how people use the product, we discovered, okay, this is a customer service product. So that's why how we decided, okay, we are going to release it as a customer service product. We are going to
Yeah.
still build all these additional features and functionality and make it, a product that could be used for other things, like you could do maybe sales. Since most people are just doing customer service, they are answering customer support questions. Like just to give you one example, like one of the beta users were actually running this festival, and they just put this AI agent onto their web page, and their website was like missing like so much information about the festival they were doing. Like,
Mm.
where do I park my car? Like, can I rent like a tent, or what's the schedule? Is there a change on the schedule? Like, and once they put that chatbot there, like people actually started just asking those questions, and they were getting like hundreds of questions, and they it just saved them like so much time having this, because like people are like they're not in the mood to like read all these documentation.
Right.
Fine, maybe they're just on their phone, like maybe they're just driving in their car, hopefully not driving and
Yeah.
text, like just browsing, but like they just need an information, where do I park my car, and like they could just talk to the agent, because we also had this voice mode. So
Yeah.
that's why AI is so amazing. Like you could just do all this stuff. It has like so much potential, so many possibilities because now software can actually talk to you.
I guess the lesson there is like users want things like fast and easy. They don't want to like scroll through multiple pages and search and find things. Like now, if you can just like have a single place where you tell exactly what you want and it spits back exactly what you're looking for, like just a better user experience. And I feel like the other big lesson that stood out to me is that you guys had this hypothesis of, oh, we want to make it easier for people to fill out forms. So you kind of develop this whole thing. But then when you put it out into the real world, the user's just taken a completely different direction. And then that kind of led to the genesis of another product, which is super interesting. And I like how you categorize things. You talked about AI agent platforms, you talked about these like specialized automations, and then you talked about like these agents that go out, interact with people on your behalf. And it's really interesting. So I'm curious, like of all these like different categories, what do you think businesses should be focusing on from like a internal perspective and an external perspective? Even just like entrepreneurs like getting started. You know, you mentioned a few different use cases like having AI write code for you or like a customer service thing. What do you think are the key applications of these AI agents that entrepreneurs and businesses should be using, whether that's an internal thing or external integrating into their product?
Internally, AI agents makes it so much easier to automate your workflows.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to do like these big stuff that will take you a long time, it's also great to do that. Just to give you an example, with the AI agents, so we have these like templates, like we have over 10,000 templates. We were thinking, okay, with the AI agents, why don't we just also build some templates? So the initial idea was like, our people were just building these templates like one by one, and then we were actually learning a lot. So it was good. It was very useful exercise. But then we had this idea: what if we could just take these 10,000 form templates, and what if we could created this like agentic flow? For example, doctor's appointment form. For example, like a school administrator, some kind of registration form, right? So all these different examples, they're actually different examples of different workflows that needs to be done, right? And if the AI agents can do these things, what if we could just take these 10,000 templates and then from them use the AI to create like 10,000 AI agent templates. Create like instead of an appointment form, you create this appointment agents with the specific questions that it has about doctor's appointment, right? Different use cases, different kind of businesses, different niches, and it worked great. And we reduced that number a little bit because we find like we reviewed that manually, found some cases that didn't make sense, but that actually like just opened up so much opportunities. And then here's what something else we did. Like even though our product is not launched yet, we said, what if we give these, like we had like 2,000 AI agent templates generated with AI. What if we gave these 2,000 AI agents to Google Ads, and we didn't just enter them one by one. Google actually has some feature called dynamic search ads. And in dynamic search ads, you could just give like your whole website, or you could just give a directory. So we just gave the directory with a star at the end, and we said, okay, any page on the page, like just we are giving you like $3,000, and here's like 2,000 AI agent templates, and like just do your own thing. So Google's AI basically took these like 2,000, and with the category pages, probably like more than 2,000 pages, and then it took them and it created the ads. It decided who to advertise for. We just gave it like
Oh.
$3,000. That's it. Like we didn't tell it like what to do, and it started doing these small experiments. It found the most optimized versions of the ads and like the audience who should be shown these ads, like which keywords in which keywords these ads should be shown. And it actually helps us actually discover all these different use cases. Like for example,
Yeah.
travel agents, like itinerary AI agents. Like, okay, you're trying to go to a place, and like you have this, travel agents or something on your website. You can put this like AI agent, like chatbot, right? You could put this AI chatbot, and it can actually and it says itinerary planner, chatbot, and you just talk to it. and then you can actually build your itinerary for your travels. And so basically, this was like the most successful case Google discovered. Like it was very like it created like so many active users
Yeah.
uh, for that specific AI agent template. It's great for marketing. So if you
Yeah.
think about it, like doing all these things, it's just like we are just writing code as opposed to like just going there and creating like 2,000 templates, creating like it would like even it's like single template would take a person like an hour at least. Like
Yeah.
you have to do research, you have to do like so many things. Now you are saving like 2,000 hours, and now in it, and not just creating the templates. Now you're actually giving that to Google, turning them into ads, and just seeing the results, discovering, and most important is the research, right? You discover what
Yeah.
works and what doesn't work. That's also very useful information. So I think this is a great example to internals. Internally, using AI to do marketing, to do like product development, things like that. Externally, we have been also using our own product AI agents to do customer service. So with to Jotform, so we started giving out our phone number because we have the phone AI agent as well. And I was just like listening to one of the calls, and one of our users, like he actually asked a question, and the AI agent gave the answer correctly, and they had this conversation, and like AI agent did everything right, but but the but our cost user is actually started saying like, I know that you are not AI, like you cannot be AI, like stop kidding with me. And our AI agent was very cool, like saying like, "Oh, yeah, I am an AI agent," and and then like he actually started getting angry, like, I know that you are like messing with me, like, yes, stop it,
Mm.
I will find you. And then
Oh gosh.
like, he was really getting angry, like he didn't actually believe that he was talking to you. And
Interesting. But I feel like support representatives typically get a lot of abuse over the phone, so maybe it's a good thing that,
it's a good
AIs are taking the
yeah,
abuse instead of people. But what really stuck out about the story, I love this process that you explained where you had these 5,000 templates, and then you like turn them into AI agent versions. I feel like it's a microcosm of, we have SaaS with these rigid UIs, but then now with AI agents, you can make the UIs more flexible. And then you guys did that with all your form templates, making 2,000 agents from these forms. And then I love what you guys did with the Google ads, basically as a way to validate which agents were the most valuable to people, and doing this experimentation and research basically automatically by leveraging Google ads. So you mentioned that the itinerary planner was the most popular. Like, what were some other ones? Like maybe two or three, like one or two other ones? And of like the overall statistics, like how much of the traffic was just across like those 2 to 3 use cases compared to the 2,000 that you had created?
yeah, I mean, most of the examples were the ones that we never expected.
Okay.
For example, like museums, they can put this chatbot on their website, and then people can ask questions, get information. We see this a lot at Jotform. Like there are already companies that actually build these great products for specific industries,
Yeah.
but like a lot of people who actually need all these like edge cases, like who need forms for them, they come to Jotform because they need a product that can actually they can build it because there's no like product for them. Like the summer camps, for example. Like I don't know how many products for summer camps, but they use Jotform a lot. There was all these like weird cases that we didn't expect. And I think one of the reasons this was successful was because we generated these templates from real like form templates and real use form templates, because
Right.
over the years we actually filtered, improved all these form templates, and we looked at like trends at Jotform. We looked at what kind of forms people create, and we created templates for them. And because we have like real use cases, then they actually translated into real AI agent templates. We now added payments as well. Like you can actually the AI agent can actually sell stuff, like if you are selling like a course, the AI agent can actually make that sale. Like it can actually do the call
Yeah.
pre-sales, answer pre-sales question, and actually you can
Mm.
actually just pay there, right on the chatbot.
Wow.
You can pay that. So I think that was another one. Like school registration was another thing there.
But
There was all these like weird cases.
yeah. So it's like
Yeah,
so many niche use cases that if you were to try to guess out of the blue, you'd probably be wrong because it's like a few out of thousands that really hit the nail on the head and they were all unexpected. But like taking this, very experimental or scientific approach where you tried a lot of things, put it out there, and it wasn't like random guessing. You had grounded it in real world use cases that people were already using.
and
Yeah,
Google
go.
is also actually helping us with the go-to-market strategy, right?
Yeah, okay.
Because let's say one of the AI agent templates could be really successful, but let's say the ads are like costing us like $50 per click, right?
Hmm.
And in those cases, it actually doesn't make sense for us to try to push for that, right? Because it will be just so expensive to try to get into that market. But
Yeah.
actually, Google is actually discovering all these like niches
Yeah.
where there are opportunities. So instead of like trying to go after like all these different like red oceans where there's already so much competition,
Right.
Google is actually discovering for us all these like blue oceans, like all these different niches where
Yeah.
we have the opportunities. So that's also a great way to discover opportunities.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Like I'd never considered that before. And now I'm thinking of like going back, let's say you were it was 20 years ago again and you're a solo founder and you're trying to leverage Google's like tremendous reach for like product validation. I know, is that something you would consider? Like you would try to make a bunch of landing pages or something like that of like different product ideas that you have and then try to push it out with Google as a form of validation?
I wonder if I would build that drag and drop, form builder when you could actually talk to the AI, talk to the product. I would do them like very differently. In our case, like even today, we do like we are going to launch our products soon. So the things we do are much more different. For example, we are actually prompts are a great way to learn from people.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
basically, every time we have something in our software, we actually add a prompt there. Like you just tell people, okay, like let's say you need to upload this knowledge base file, right? Prompt there as well, like empty text area, and like let people to enter their prompt. But we are not just learning; like they're not just entering a prompt. We are actually learning what people are actually trying to accomplish,
Right,
and
right.
that's one of the biggest things. Like with software is that you're building something, but are you really building something that people want?
Yeah.
Or are you just assuming that they're going to want this?
Mhm.
And we also added another thing in our new product, which is like you can actually talk to your own agent. Uh, and when you go to your agent, it actually tells you, okay, hey, I just had this conversation recently with with one of your customers. I have some questions. Can I ask you those questions, right? And then you say sure, ask, and then it asks you question, you answer it, and then it actually adds that knowledge to its knowledge base.
Mm.
And so you by like it's kind of like asking you question to find out about your business. So when it's talking to your clients, when it's talking to your customers, it can actually use that knowledge, so you can
Okay.
actually have that
Yeah.
conversation with your it's kind of like having an employee. Like you are the manager, you have an employee. Like how would you hire an employee, right? You would interview them, and you once you hire them, like you would actually like train them. You
Yeah.
would actually describe your business, you would describe your customers, you can answer your questions. Maybe you can show them some training information, right? All those things also apply with the product as well. Now the products can actually like talk to people, and that's what really excites me about it, because I spent the last 2 decades trying to understand people. Like we have been doing like user research, we've been doing user testing where we are actually watching people use the product. Like
Yeah.
we use like products like Full Story, and we look at lots of data, but nothing beats actually talking to the people and like
Yeah.
software talking to everyone. It's not just like one or two people who you do like interview. Software can actually talk to everyone, and you can actually learn from them. Whatever you learn, you can actually fix your product, improve your product, and keep improving it and keep getting those information from your users.
This is really interesting. Like picking out an example, like if someone wanted to build a sales agent, for example, like you're saying you'd want to do like a whole onboarding process like you would do for a person where basically you would feed the LLM context about your business, about your customer, about your product, all that kind of stuff. And then additionally, as it's having these conversations with people, you're capturing that information so you can later analyze it, and you don't even necessarily have to analyze it by going through and like reading through all these transcripts. You can basically have the LLM have that information stored in a knowledge base or maybe even just like a text file if the context window is big enough. And then you just ask it questions about like, okay, what are the major pain points and like how can we improve the product? Or, it sounds like it's changing a lot of ways that entrepreneurs and businesses can approach product development.
And you can actually have it like once the AI agent learns your business,
Mm-hmm.
it can actually come back and teach your employees as well. Like one
Mm-hmm.
of the user interviews we had was this person was actually when he's on a sales call, he needs to enter all this form information. He would actually use the chatbot to enter the information, right? So he would fill out the form at the same time, and if someone asks a question, it would actually ask the question to the chatbot to get the answer. Like just give them the answer as well. And one of the reasons he was doing was he was actually giving the AI agent to his junior employees, junior salespeople.
Mm.
And junior salespeople, when they're on the call and they're like stressed, like the
Right.
customer is asking a question, and they're like entering that question to the AI agent, and the AI agent gives them an answer, and then they tell them to the customer,
Yeah.
and they were getting help this way,
Mm-hmm.
and like helping them train it. So it can go both ways.
Wow, that's awesome. We talked a lot about like use cases and how businesses can use it externally and how it can fit into the product development side and product like different features for your products. But I feel like there are mixed emotions around AI these days, especially AI agents. As we're talking about them, like as quite literally replacing people and roles. And so there's definitely excitement around that, but there's also like fears around that. So I don't know, how do you manage these emotions and expectations as a leader? You have over 500 employees. Like how do you manage these expectations internally but also on the customer side? Like how do you manage the expectations of what AI can do? There was that example you gave of customer service where the guy was getting very upset that he didn't believe he was talking to an AI. So I don't know, like how do you think about that?
Internally, people are really excited because they can see how much they can accomplish with the help of AI.
Yeah.
Like for example, in the example of like manually creating those AI agent templates, like instead of doing that, like just building this AI agent agentic flow where you actually turn the templates into AI form templates into AI agents, and then constantly improving that. Like what we were doing is like basically it was actually like we did build it like every night it was actually rebuilding them, and then
Hmm.
like whenever we find a problem, so we would go back to the prompts and then improve the prompts, and then the next day we get it. So as long as you have that engineering power that can help your employees to build these tools, I think they're going to be much more excited because now they can accomplish 100 times more. They can be much more productive. And now
Yeah.
they're turning into, instead of doing these manual tasks, they're actually becoming managers. They're managing the AI agents, right?
Hmm.
But you need that engineering, knowledge with them. Like someone needs to actually help
Right.
them with it as well, like build those flows. But there are also tools. Like I'm also seeing a lot of people are just they're just using like Make or Zapier to build these
Yeah.
agents, and they can actually accomplish all this stuff as well. Like so, you don't have to be a programmer to do that. So internally, we are seeing like with our support team, like our AI agent is actually like creating the first draft, and then they go to the first draft and then they improve it. We are learning from their knowledge as well, so that they are now actually spending more of their time to actually provide a better answer as opposed to like
Yeah.
just type in the same answers again and again. Like
Yeah.
they just improve it, so our customer support also improves much more
Interesting.
because like they can actually provide responses much faster.
Mm-hmm.
Their average response times improved for our support team, so they're happier because of that.
Yeah.
And their actual ratings are also improved because now instead of like focusing on like writing the steps to do accomplish something, they can actually focus on like what is this person asking? Like, are we answering that? Like, all the mechanical stuff, all this stuff is handled by the AI, and they can focus on providing a better service, like being nicer to our customers.
Yeah.
So this is internally. In terms of externally, what we are seeing is that people are actually, and every time our AI agents talk to people, they actually, it's not law yet, but it will probably be a law soon that they have to identify themselves as an AI agent, right?
Right.
So on the phone, like they say, I'm an AI agent. This call is recorded. On the chatbots, they say like we implemented like things like WhatsApp. We are building the Zoom agent as well. So in all those cases, it actually says I'm an AI agent. So what happens when people know that they are talking to an AI agent? You might expect that they may not be happy, but they're actually happy.
Yeah.
Um, so I think there are like multiple reasons. The one reason is like if you are talking to a person, like you have to be more careful, right? You have to be nicer. Like if you ask the same question twice, like you will probably not gonna ask it third time.
Mm.
Because like you don't want to get maybe you'll get angry, but like you'll just give up. But with the chatbot, they will ask it in a different way. So on the phone, right, it just picks up right away. You don't have to wait
Wow.
45 minutes on the
Cool.
call just to not be able to get an answer to your question, right? It sucks, but with the AI, like it's available 24/7, right?
Yeah.
So like when you call, you don't hear like, hey, we are only providing customer support from 9 to 5, Eastern time or whatever, and you don't have to hear that. You could call an AI agent at 2 a.m. in the morning, and it will still have that same exciting voice. People are actually okay. They are not worried about taking too much time because they know it doesn't cost much to the business as well. Like just
Yeah.
they keep asking the same question or different questions. So I think we have seen all the positive stuff. Like I haven't seen any negative stuff. That specific case where the person got angry, well, I think he just really didn't believe that I was talking to an agent.
Right.
Like he thought that we were kidding with him or something. Right?
Two things stood out to what you're saying. One, with these AI agents, they let people focus on higher level things and be more like editors and reviewers as opposed to the people like creating things from scratch, which allows them to do work faster. And then, like on the customer support side, it allows you to provide service with like no latency and at full availability, full coverage. Like you don't have to wait till 9 to 5 to make your customer support call. And I think, people just love that. And then, just having this very subtle note on the user interface side of saying this is an AI agent, the call is recorded or the chat is recorded, can have a tremendous impact. Something very simple can have a tremendous impact on the user experience. So that's really interesting to hear. We've been talking for a while. I want to kind of like start wrapping it up here. But like, where do you see this all going? What do you see as the future of AI for businesses, like both at Jotform and then just like overall in the business landscape?
I think we are all gonna have our own AI agents, multiple AI agents, like business. All the businesses, organizations, they are gonna have their own AI agents. So, like just that example, right? In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be able to talk to my, school administrator, my kid's school administrator, AI agents to ask a question, or like tell them, okay, my kid is not going to be able to come to school tomorrow or something. We are going to like save so much time, automate so many things, and we are going to be able to get better service, better customer service, better help. Overall, it's going to be very positive for everyone, and we are all going to be much more productive. And the SaaS businesses are going to be changed. They're going to change. They're going to become much more flexible, and the products and more people will use products. So the you were talking about the vertical AI agents. I think it's going to be maybe 100 times bigger than that. With the vertical SaaS, what happens with vertical SaaS was like for different kind of like industries, different use cases, all these SaaS products became so much successful because they were doing a great job providing a good solutions to organizations, to businesses.
Yeah.
But they were still like they were very rigid.
Hmm.
With the AI agents, the based software that can actually have like their own AI, it's going to be much more flexible and it's going to be much bigger. So I think it's going to be
Wow.
so much better. And I'm not worried about it, AGI and all this stuff. I think it's just I feel like that's just too far away. And even if you have an AGI, it's just like we have billions of people in the world. Like they have human uh, intelligence, right? Already, right? So just having similar level intelligence, it doesn't suddenly make it like make them like take over the world. I think in a similar way, even if we reach AGI, I think it's still going to be we are going to get become much more productive, efficient, and so I'm not really worried about that part, but
Yeah.
I'm really happy that everything is going to become much more easier and much more. We are all going to become much more productive.
Okay, so AI agents are going to be facilitating a lot of the communication between individuals, between businesses, between individuals and businesses. And it's just going to allow people to spend less time on doing that kind of stuff and more time on generating value or doing things that they enjoy. So overall, it's going to be a net positive for
Yeah,
everyone. And then you
exactly.
already mentioned you guys are building this AI agent product at Jotform. What's the AI roadmap for Jotform? Because you guys are a mid-sized company, and I'm sure like a lot of people, in this community, they're entrepreneurs and their clients are mid-sized companies. So I feel like they'd be like really curious to hear about your roadmap.
Software is eating the world. Mark Andreessen said that, like,
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe I don't know, two decades or a decade ago. And AI is eating the software now. I think AI is going to eat software. We also have to adapt to that, and I think
yeah,
it's a great opportunity. So our product can become much more flexible, much more easier to use. So we are going to take advantage of that. Like all of the features, all of the products we have, we are going to be able to make them, powered by AI. Basically, allow our products to talk to people, and the AI
nice.
is kind of the translator between the product and the people.
Yeah,
It makes our products much easier and much more useful for them.
right.
I think that's the goal. And so basically, once we launch this product, we are going to be working on all the other parts of Jotform where
Okay.
we actually use the power of AI. Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay, so using AI as this like human product interface, and then once you start with this, you're going to start with this product, and it's going to be like an overhaul of all different aspects of the business.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, where can people learn more about Jotform and this new agent platform that you guys are building, or this agent product that you guys are building?
So we are going to release it in 20 days. I don't know when this is going to be released.
Yeah,
I will just provide the link
yeah,
on
sounds
the
good.
comments, and they can just go to jotform.com as well. And I also have a personal website, aytekintank.com, my first name, last name.com. And I actually have a clone, Jotform. I
Oh,
use
okay, nice.
Jotform AI agents to train my clone so
Hmm.
they can actually talk to, if they have any questions for me, they can talk to the clone.
Wow, that's awesome.
And actually, our agents can actually take a note or send like information. So they can just say, okay, can you send this note to them? And then they will, the
Nice.
AI agent will say, oh, can you provide your email address? And then it will send me an email, and then I can get back to them that way as well.
Yeah, that's
Or they can
cool.
contact me through my AI agents as
Yeah,
well.
there we go. A peek into the future. Going to aytekintong.com. Well, Aytekin, thank you so much for taking the time and chatting with me today. The conversation was super insightful, and hope we can do it again sometime.
Thank you.